Okay, fine. In the last session, after completing the setups, we just tested manual addition and asset creation through ADFDI and CIP asset creation and capitalization process, right? So now we'll see the mass additions. So when I talk about mass additions, it's the same process like it's adding the asset lines from AP to FA and just preparing them and converting as asset definitions. Okay, we'll go and see the process. So to test this functionality, we'll go and create asset invoice in the payables. The asset line will create and that will interface to FA and will prepare it and will finally will post it. Fine. Just go to invoice workbench. So create invoice. So our business unit name is Google US Business Unit and supplier is, so we have a name called as Google Supplier 1 INC. Okay, right, yes. So invoice number, say 1, so $25,000 and go to lines, enter line amount $25,000. Now we have to select asset clearing account, which is a part of our asset category, right? So just go and select asset clearing account here, select company, select department, select account. Select account called as asset clearing. If you remember at the time of category creation, this account we selected, right? So you should make sure that you are selecting the same account. Done. So in case of EBS, so we just, whenever you select it, system will be marking that line as a track as asset, but here it is not mandatory. So if you want to see that information, you can just select this tab asset, it will get the relevant fields. So track as asset is not enabled even you select asset related account. Okay, without selecting track as asset, this information can be interfaced to FA to create a mass addition. Fine. So track as asset selection is not mandatory. That's what we have to notice when you compare with EBS. So now just we'll go and validate the invoice. Just to validate it. Invoice is validated. And to transfer to, if you want to get this information to fixed assets, it's a mandatory, you have to account it. So just go on to perform post to ledger option, just submit accounting. It will create accounting, it will transfer it, it will send to GL as well as it will post it. So invoice is validated and invoice is accounted. Now this information we can interface to fixed assets. So based on this line we can create the asset. Just say save and close. And now we have to run the process called as mass addition, create mass addition. Here you could see in this same task list. So if you go to the task list in the invoice workbench, we can find the task called as asset section, create mass additions. Just click on create mass additions until which date of invoices you want to interface, till today, and you want to interface to which asset book or corporate book. So our book name is Google Corp. Select, say submit, say OK. Now you can switch to assets. We'll be able to see the asset line in the fixed assets mass addition interface. Go to navigator, under assets, Okay, under fixed assets, select task called as assets. Fine. So if you notice here, system is showing additions. One incomplete mass addition is available in the interface with invoice number 1 with $25,000. So these details you can see. So in case of EBS, from the navigator will go to prepare mass additions through navigation, since they're given this dashboard infolets, this information we call as infolet information. So directly we can find from here. Otherwise we can go through navigation also. So here you can go to task list. In case of EBS, we have a task mass additions, prepare mass addition. That is a navigation from the navigator. But here, if you want to find all the lines which are coming from other sources, you can just select the task called as prepare source lines. So through this, you can find out the what are the lines are available in the interface, mass addition interface, which are coming from payables, or maybe depending on the client application usage, maybe projects. So you can just select prepare source lines. It is equal to prepare mass addition. The prepare source lines are equal to prepare mass addition function which you have in EBS. And from here you can find out. Any source lines are available in the FA mass addition interface table which are referring this book. Click on search, you can find the same line. One line we interfaced from AP to FA just now. The same you can find it. So now what we have to do is select it. We have to prepare it. Select, go to actions, click on edit. We know when line gets interfaced to FA from any other source, it could be AP or projects, we could see the status as new, right? To prepare it, we have to change the status to post, and we just add mandatory information here, add description, say building 1, and add category for this asset. Click on LOV, say Google Buildings, say Office Buildings, say OK. Okay, you may just tag this asset with a key. It's not mandatory. You may select any one of the value. Since we don't have relevant values, I'm just selecting some technology. Otherwise, you may select as a none if not applicable. And now you can assign this asset assignments, like just providing the depreciation expense account location, if required, employee information also. So company, department, and expense account. So depreciation expense account, say just building depreciation. So building depreciation expense account, say OK, and specify this billing location. So country, just select any random values and complete it just for testing. Okay, any just so you can select any one of the city, any one of the billing. Billing may not be applicable. We are creating billing, so you can select any one of the value. Okay, the tagging you may select office. Just ignore it, or else you can add one value called as none for the billing value set, that you may pick the value. So this billing belongs to which location, that we have to specify. Then we given required details, then say save and close. So now you can see here, earlier the status addition status as incomplete. Now we have one line which is ready to post. So if you see here, we have a tab, so prepare all, merge, add to asset, split. But here you don't see any tab called as post. So if you want to see the post tab, what you have to do is you have to click on this ready to post hyperlink. Click on that. Once you click on that, it will be adding post option. Once you click on ready to post, it is adding post all. Here how many we have? Only one we have. Okay, the one you may select. Click on post to all so that this line will be converted as a asset definition. Click on post all. So now you can go and find this line as a asset definition. Just expand this. Go to asset inquiry. So earlier we created few assets, but that instance got refreshed. Now again this is a new environment where we complete the same setups. So now search, you can find only one asset which we created just now in this corporate book. So only one asset, that is a billing one. That is associated with this corporate book. This is the financial information related to that book. Okay, done. So this is all about just mass addition, same process what we do in EBS, same. So now we'll see the merge asset lines. We'll see how to merge multiple asset lines. To test this functionality, what we'll do is we'll create invoice and payables. So I'll create invoice in AP. Say with the more than one line. Say we'll go and create with the two lines. The two lines will interface to fixed assets and we'll merge those two lines to create as a single asset. Okay. We'll see how to do that. Just better we can have another tab to create the transactions from AP. And this tab we can use to access fixed assets. Just go to invoice workbench and create invoice with the two lines. And the two lines will interface to FA. In FA we can merge those two lines to create single asset, otherwise automatically as per standard process two lines will be created as the two assets. How to merge the lines we'll see. Go to invoice workbench. So create invoice. Business unit is Google US business unit. Supplier is Google INC. So invoice number is 2. I'm just entering $20,000 and we'll create two lines with this 20,000. 10,000, 10,000. $10,000 and select asset clearing account. Okay, asset clearing account. Clearing account. We no need to enable our system also. No need to track as asset. Still, that can be interfaced to FA. Okay, done. And one more line we have to create. Go to second line. Enter same amount, $10,000. So enter amount. Sorry, 1,000 hyphen 17710. So validate it and we have to account it as mandatory, because without accounting you cannot interface to FA. Say post to ledger. Now we have to transfer this asset lines, two asset lines we have within one invoice. These two lines we have to interface to MassAddition interface, right? So to interface this line from AP to FA from the invoice workbench, you can go to create MassAdditions task. Till which date of entries we want to transfer, till today, and to which corporate book. Google call. Say submit. Fine. Now we can switch to assets. Already we have assets open in the different tab. Now go to asset task. Here you can find the two asset lines. Two incomplete asset lines. Two are belongs to same invoice. Invoice number is 2, 10,000, 10,000. Now we have to merge these two lines. We want to merge into one line to create single asset. So select one line. Here we have option called as merge. Click on merge. Okay. Select it. Says set parent. You just set this as a parent. One you should set as a parent. And just click on cancel. So all the lines selected for the merge will be removed. You want to continue? Say no. Now select this line. Click on merge. This will be merged with the other line. Say submit. Two lines we merged. Okay. Two lines we merged. Now select it. Go to actions. Click on edit. Here you can find the two lines. Okay, line 1, line 2. Line 1 status is on hold. The second one is merged. That means this line got merged with the first line. So we have to go with the on hold status line and change the queue status from on hold to post, so that we can prepare this line to create as asset. So description you can write, say billing 2, and specify the category. Google billings. Google Office. Say okay. Asset key you may select or you can ignore it. So the key which I'm selecting, it's not relevant. That's the billing, and again this is the technology. Just to fill, just I'm selecting it. So depreciation expense account. Provide depreciation expense account. So billing depreciation account. So select billing depreciation account and specify asset location. Select country, state or county. Select city. So these all values are created as independent values, so that is the reason there is no dependency for filtration. So just pick any one of the value to provide the location. Okay, done. Now you can say save and close. Now ready to post one line we have because two lines we merged into one line, right? So select it, say post all. Now with the two lines system will create single asset. The asset cost would be $20,000. We just merged two lines and each line amount is $10,000, right? Now you can go to asset inquiry, click on search. Now you can find one more asset called as billing 2. Okay, you could see that number is 1. So 89898. Okay, the line wise it is showing, but it will be showing as just single asset, one asset only. So the asset is only one. You can search. Just it is representing the lines. Asset is only one. You could see that lines are two. Asset is only one. So lines it is representing, but finally asset is only one, $20,000. So that's how just two lines you can merge and you can create the single asset. It's all about merge asset lines. Now we'll see the split asset lines. So in AP we'll create one line and that will move to FA. In FA we'll split that one line into multiple lines so that we can create multiple assets based on one line. Okay, we'll create one asset line in AP that will interface to FA, and in FA we can split one line into multiple lines. With the help of multiple lines we can create the multiple assets. We'll see that process. So create invoice with a single line, single asset line. So invoice number is 3. So I'm going to enter amount as say 50,000 or say 5 lakhs. So line amount also 5 lakhs. So asset clearing account. So validate and account it. So invoice got validated. Now you can account and transfer to GL. Now we have to interface this line to mass addition interface tables, right? So say save and close. Go to task list. Say create mass additions. Till today, and we want to interface to Google Corporate Book. Done. Now this line we can find in the fixed assets. Go to assets task. You can find one incomplete line is available in the interface with the amount of 5 lakhs. Now select it. Go to actions, say edit, and change queue status from new to post, and description. Some buildings, say ABC buildings. Select category. Okay, just you may select any one of the key if you want, or else you can ignore it. Anyway, it's optional. Right, so provide depreciation expense account for building. You just provide location information. Okay, done. Now what we have to do is this line we want to split into how many lines. So that we have to specify here. Okay. Say with the same depreciation expense account and same location, we want to split this line into 5 lines. Now the total amount is 5 lakhs by 5 it will take, and it will split accordingly. Each line will get allocated with a 1 lakh dollars. Now say save and close. So now select this line and say split. Before you perform the split, you have to specify this has to be split into how many lines. We given number of units 5, so it will be split into 5 lines. Just click on split. Say yes. So you could see the line split into 5 lines. Now what you can do is you can see the 5 lines are ready to post. And you can say post all. All will be created as a assets. 5 asset system will create now. Now go to asset inquiry, we can find the same as the assets. Click on search. System created 5 assets with the same description, ABC building. So that's all about split functionality. So if you get to a single line from any source, so as per requirement, if you want to maintain as a multiple assets, we have to split one line into multiple lines. So done. And now we'll see the reclassification. So reclassification means changing the asset category. Okay, the asset whatever we created, we those are in specific category. Those we want to update with the new category, only the option is reclassifying. We'll be classifying the assets from current category to new category. We'll be changing the category that we call as reclassification. We'll go and see that. If you want to test this functionality, we have to create one more category. We have only one category. We'll just go and create one more category so that we can test reclassification functionality. Go to our project, setup and maintenance. So categories, asset categories. So manage asset categories, select the task. So create. So major category name is Google Buildings. So minor category. Already we created category combination with the Google Office Buildings. Now we'll go with the shopping complex. Done. Now you can associate this category with our corporate book. Click on add. Select our corporate book. Google Corp. So provide all these accounts. Asset cost account for building. Select department. Select billing account. So buildings, then say OK and select asset clearing account. You can copy and paste the same and you can change the account. Select asset clearing, then say OK. So depreciation expense account. So building depreciation expense account. Building depreciation expense, say OK. Yes, you may feel that depreciation reserve also the same account, no issues, but reality will be selecting the exact account. But we are not going to validate, verify all the amounts. So you can just go with a random account. Done. And go to default rules where we can set depreciation method and lifetime for asset, all the information. Go to default rules, then click on add. Scroll little down. Select depreciation method, says straight line depreciation. And specify lifetime for the asset, say 60 years, 0 months. And provide convention, retirement convention, same you can use. Now say save and close. Now we have new category called as shopping complex. Now we have what are the asset we have that will reclassify to this new category. Just click on done. You can go with this assets. Go to assets task. So go to task list. Here you can just select the task called as adjust assets. Adjust assets. Select task. Here you can find any one of the asset. Or else you search directly, you can find all the assets which are in this book. Fine. So now we have a building one. In this asset number we have a building one. The building one is part of which category? Google buildings, Google office buildings, right? So Google buildings, Google office buildings. Now we want to move this asset to, we want to classify these buildings or belongs to shopping complex. Say the office buildings you converted as a shopping complex, you have to change the category. So in that case, select specific asset, or you may select multiple also. Just you can hold shift and you can select multiple. Now say change category. So this is the current category the asset belongs to. Now we are going to change the category. Provide new category details. Shopping. Save. Okay. So you may write the comments why you are changing this category. Submit done. So this is just simply you can change the asset category from one to other, which comes under reclassification functionality. Now we'll look at the depreciation run. So when I talk about depreciation, we know in EBS also we have a two modes. One is draft and final. Draft mode depreciation and the final mode depreciation, right? So we'll just first go and run the draft mode depreciation. After that, we'll run the final mode and we'll understand relevant points. So just go to under assets, go to task list. Okay, here if you just scroll little down, here we have a manage all books. Here we have a two options in the, there are two places from where you can run the depreciation. One is you can go to manage all books. You can see all the books. Otherwise, by default, we connected to one corporate book here, right? Google Corp. So for this specific book, if you want to run the depreciation, you don't need to go to all the books also. From here you can run. You can go to manage all books. Otherwise, if you want to run the depreciation for this book, Google Corp, so here system is showing depreciation. That means June period depreciation is open. If you select it, this is how it will show the details. So all this in the current period, how many assets are there? 7 assets are there. If you click on that, those 7 assets also it will display. And calculate depreciation. If you proceed with the calculate depreciation here, drop down option, you could see close period. In EBS, you could see one checkbox. When you go to run depreciation, you could see one checkbox called as close period. Right? If you enable that checkbox, that is the final mode. If you don't enable, that is the draft mode. Here, if you click on calculate depreciation, this is equal to draft mode depreciation. If you select this option close period, that is a final mode depreciation. That is a point you have to understand. Now we'll go with the draft mode. Just directly click on calculate depreciation. I'll take you through this manage all books also. We'll see. First we can proceed with this. Now we know system will be running this depreciation, and we can just monitor that request from the scheduled process. Okay, done. Now we'll go and inquire, and we will conduct the inquiry to check the depreciation which is calculated. Go to asset inquiry section and click on search. So these are the assets. So the depreciation is calculated or not, you can check for each and every asset. Here we have a tab called as depreciation. Go to depreciation, you could see the for June month depreciation is calculated for this asset. Select any other asset also. Yes, this for this 8,000. For this $1,666. So this is how just you can verify the depreciation information. So to asset financial information, any descriptive information you are capturing, you could see, and source lines. This asset is created based on which source lines? Because by using these two source lines, two lines, we merged and we created, right? And asset assignments. This asset is associated with which location and which depreciation expense account, and cost history. Depreciation is the cost history, and depreciation and relevant transactions. Okay, so this is just you can find out the details related to depreciation. Whatever we run, that is a draft mode. So we have a rollback also, right? So we'll test it. Like rollback depreciation means it's all about if you go and do some changes to any asset. In case of rollback, it's a draft mode depreciation system will roll back the depreciation. In 11i, EBS 11i, it is a manual process, and release 12 they automated. So whenever you run the draft mode depreciation, if you go and do some changes, automatically system will roll back. In EBS release 12 or Fusion, the functionality remains same. Now we submitted depreciation for all the assets, right? We just gone through that process. Okay, so now we'll go on to do some changes to one asset. System should roll back the depreciation. Before that, we'll look into how much depreciation we have for a specific asset. You take building one, for example. Okay, building one, depreciation amount is $2,083. So just copy this asset, and we'll go and do some changes to this asset. System should roll back. The reason is the depreciation which we submitted is draft mode only. In case of draft mode, rollback is automatic. So go to adjustments, adjust asset, find asset. Already draft mode depreciation is calculated. Just select this asset. You may go with the change financial details. Just for testing, we'll change something here. Then save it, submit. And we'll set back to the same. Go to same asset, just assets. The system has to notice some changes are done, that's all. So again, anyway, set back to, I think for this asset lifetime is set to 1 year only. Submit it. So we did some changes to this asset. Finally, we set to the same, but now system will address. Now, if you go to verify the depreciation for this specific asset, see what you can see: zero depreciation. Just click on search. You see building 2. Select building 2. Go to depreciation. You have amount. You go to this ABC building. You have some amount. It's a draft mode only, but still you have. But if you go to building 1, after running the draft mode depreciation, we did some changes. So that would result undo of depreciation. That is a rollback depreciation which we call. Okay. So we can just roll back the depreciation. So that's all about it. And now we'll see how to run the final mode depreciation also. Or else we can see that later. Final mode depreciation you can run after some time. No issues, we'll go on to it. So two options we have to run the final mode depreciation. So one place is this. You select here. So if you want to run the final mode depreciation for this book, you can click on close period. If not, from here, draft mode or final mode, you can run from here also. Go to manage all books. Manage all books. Here you can find the books. Asset book monitor. Here we have a this Google Corp. If you just run calculate depreciation, it will run the draft mode depreciation. If you want to create accounting entries for entire book related transactions, you can create from here. If you want to close the period for this asset, this corporate book, which is nothing but final mode of depreciation, you can click on this. So this is how we have a two different options. From two places we can perform this. Let's submit final mode depreciation from here. You have to select this section and go to drop down, say period close. That means it's a final mode. The depreciation program will close the period and you cannot reopen it. Do you want to continue? So final mode depreciation, say yes. So once the process is complete, we'll see that. Just switch to asset inquiry and just come back to asset. Now you could see the period as open period and the fixed assets is July. That means June period is closed. Okay, the June period is closed. That's how just we can perform the final mode depreciation. Fine. Now we'll look at mass copy functionality. We know like it's all about copying assets from corporate book to tax book. So for that we have to create the tax book, and in corporate book the assets are belongs to which categories. Those categories also we have to create in the tax book. The same categories we have to associate with the tax book. Total we have a two categories, but in one category we have only one asset. Remaining assets we have in the first category. Okay, say assign category to tax book. One category is enough, two are not required. First we'll go and create the tax book, then we'll assign the corporate book related categories to tax book. Say you have 100 assets in the corporate book. 100 assets are available in the five categories. The five categories we have to associate with the tax book, otherwise you cannot copy. So we'll associate, then we'll copy the assets. Copy assets from corporate book to tax book. And when you do this copy, we have two options: initial mass copy, periodic mass copy. As a part of process we'll discuss. Now we'll go and complete the setups. To perform the mass copy, we require tax book. It's all about copying assets from corporate book to tax book. So we'll just go and do create the tax book first. Okay, so create tax book. So go to our project. Search for the task called as asset books. The task name is manage asset books. With the same book you can create the same task, you can create the tax book also. Just click on go to task icon. Say create. The name is Google Tax. Google Tax book. So book classification is tax. So you have to associate this tax book. Is going to get the data from which corporate book, Google Corp. So associate ledger. depreciation calendar, the current period. You can select which is the current period. So already we closed June month in the corporate book. Let's select July as a current period in the tax book. Sorry. So set all these mandatory accounts. Go with any one of the default account and provide all these accounts here. So based on the field label name, we have to provide the relevant accounts. But here, nothing goes wrong even if you select any random account. I'm just filling everything with the same account. But reality will be selecting the right account based on the field name. So just provide all this. And reference data set, everywhere we are using the common. The same we can set here also. Done. Okay, for all the reference data groups we just given this. Now since this is a tax books, you can find the additional tab called as tax. Go to tax tab and specify allow mass copy. That means you can copy the assets into this tax book from associated corporate book. So save and close. Done. We're ready with the tax book. Now what we have to do is, so from which corporate book we are going to copy the assets, that corporate book, how many categories we have, those we have to assign to tax book. So we have two categories, but in one category, one asset only we have. Then let's ignore that category. We'll go with the primary category where we have more assets. So go to manage asset categories. So we know one category can be used in multiple books. That can be any book, corporate or tax. So you can select corporate, Google corporate. So with these two categories are associated, right? So the shopping complex that we can ignore. So most of the assets we have in this category, right? So here, click on create. Sorry, okay, we are associating, right? Fine. So here you just select this category and click on edit, and here you have to add it. This category is already added to Google Corp. The same category we are going to add to Google Tax Book. And provide the accounting information. So billing. So billings. So asset clearing account. So asset depreciation account, billing depreciation account. Fine. Rest you can fill with any one of the combination. There won't be an issue. So default rules. Click on add. So use any one of the different depreciation method. But you may use the same. Or lifetime maybe you may change different. So as per taxation, like it has to be lifetime is 50 only. As per corporate law, it is 60. As per IT law, it may be 50 years. You can calculate depreciation, and which period convention you want to follow for tax book, you can select. That's how you can fill all these details. Then say save and close. Then we completed with the required two setups. One is tax book creation. Other one is associating the category. I mean the category to tax book. Now we'll go and copy the assets from corporate book to tax book. When you do this activity, we have two options. One is initial mass copy. Other one is periodic mass copy. So in initial mass copy, what we can do, we can copy all assets. In case of periodic mass copy, specific period assets. When you do the implementation, normally we'll go with the initial mass copy. In the ongoing process, always we use periodic mass copy to copy the assets from corporate book to tax book. Fine. So now the setups are ready. Now we can go to okay. Tax book is done. So setups are ready. Before that, we have to get the tax book access to our user. Okay, directly you cannot get access to tax book because you created. You have to associate this tax book. Okay, you create tax book and assign tax book to user through FA related role, that is asset accountant role. Okay, we'll go and complete that. This is pending. We'll just go and complete that. So for the task is data access for users. By using this task, we can assign the tax book to our user through FA role. Manage data access for users. Just click on add. User is Google. Role is asset accountant. So here security contest is asset book only. For tax book or asset book, the contest name is asset book only. They should have given as a book. FA book. Here you select just map your Google tax book to for user and role. Say save and close. And submit LDAP. Sometimes it may take time, the synchronization, and we'll submit and wait for 2 minutes. Go to schedule processes. search for LDAP. So we'll go to the asset work area. So click on this term. Yes, we are able to access. Select tax book. Fine. It's got synchronized. Okay. Now what we'll do is go to task list and go to task called as manage all books. Here we'll find a tax book under corporate book. Here two books we have. Now select your tax book. Once you select your tax book, system is giving the option as copy from corporate book. You can perform the mass copy from here. Select your tax book. You want to copy the assets into which tax book? The tax book select. Click on copy from corporate. So system is asking for corporate book period. That means this mass copy name is periodic mass copy. If you want to perform the initial mass copy directly from the schedule process, which we call as ESS job page, from there we can submit the job. Okay, so this process, whatever we are doing, that falls under periodic mass copy. Just click on submit. Now the assets will be copied from corporate book to tax book. Okay, just we submitted this request. We can go on to monitor from ESS job page. So system submitted, perform initial mass copy. No, it's not a. See, it is ending with error. It's ending with error. The reason is basically it has to give warning in this case. That the what is the reason system is giving this message? We have two categories in the corporate book, but we associated only one category with the tax book. That is the reason system is giving this message, but you can see the results. Okay, so if you don't want to see this message, you have to assign that other category also with your tax book, so that without any this message you will be able to see the status as succeeded. Now you go to the tax book. Go to your tax book. Within the tax book you can find the assets. So this is your tax book, Google Tax. Click on search. You can find all the assets in this book. Where we have all these assets? The tax book. This building 2 we have in the corporate book as well as tax book also. So this is how you can perform this. Okay. So this is basically initial periodic mass copy triggered initial mass copy. So how come that is taken? But anyway, that's how just we copied the assets. And if you want to run the initial mass copy process from the schedule process, you can do it. Initial mass copy. Just let me refresh this navigation. Schedule process. So initial. Sorry. 1 second. Search with this term. Okay, this is what. Perform initial mass copy, perform periodic mass copy. Okay, just based on your requirement. Going forward, you can perform the periodic mass copy. The first time we'll perform the initial mass copy. Okay, we submitted mass copy at the time system was asking for period. If it is period specification, that should be treated as a periodic mass copy, but system triggered initial mass copy. Anyway, just the sets are copied, but here you have a detailed processes as per requirement. You can submit. Okay, so that's all about mass copy functionality. And then what if set requirement reinstatement? These are just simple concepts. Fine. So these we'll do in the tomorrow session. We can complete these and we can proceed with the other topics also. I think cash management is pending. In tomorrow session, we'll just complete the simple topics and we'll proceed with the cash management application. So that's all for today. Any questions from anyone, please?